Way up in the far north of Japan's main island, you'll find the Tsugaru Peninsula. It's a land of really dramatic seasons and, wow, some deep history. And right at its heart, kind of watching over everything, is Mount Iwaki. For the people who live here, it's so much more than a mountain. It's like a spiritual guide, this beautiful, constant presence on the horizon. And who wrote that beautiful description? Well, none other than one of Japan's most brilliant and, let's be honest, troubled writers, Osamu Dazai. You see, for him, this mountain wasn't just some landmark. It was this graceful, almost maternal figure watching over his home. And it's his unique vision of this land, and his really complicated relationship with it, that we're going to explore together.
So, come on, let's take a literary journey. A kind of pilgrimage, really. We're going to follow in the footsteps of Osamu Dazai to find the true heart of his world, right here in his homeland, Tsugaru.
Okay, so let's get into it. Osamu Dazai. He was born into this incredibly wealthy family here, but honestly, he couldn't wait to get out. He ran off to Tokyo chasing this life of literature and rebellion, which actually got him disowned. But then, in 1944, right in the middle of the war, he came back, and he was on a mission to really see his homeland for the first time and to write the story of that return.
Now, to really understand why he came back, we have to start where his entire life began, in this magnificent house called Sheokan. This place, it was way more than just a home. It was the source of so much pride for his family. But for Dazai, it was also a place of profound loneliness.
Just look at the size of this place. It's this enormous mansion, 19 rooms in total. It was built by Dazai's very powerful father, and it was designed to just scream wealth and influence. It was a huge symbol of his family's status as one of the biggest landowners in the whole region.
What's so fascinating here is the architecture itself. It's a style they call Wyosetsu, which is this amazing fusion of traditional Japanese and then modern Western design. You've got these classic tatami rooms right next to formal Western-style halls. This house isn't just a building. It's a perfect metaphor for Japan at that time, a whole nation caught between its ancient past and its brand-new Western-influenced future.
But inside this grand, sprawling mansion, young Dazai felt completely lost. His father was always away on business in Tokyo, and his mother was often sick. So the people who really raised him, or his aunt, and maybe most importantly, his nanny, a young woman named Take, they were his entire world. And that brings us to maybe the most personal space in the whole house. This small room, called the Koma, is the exact spot where Dazai was born. It's in here that he spent his earliest years, not really with his parents, but in the constant loving care of Take and his aunt. You could say this little room was his true home inside the much bigger house. And the house itself has had quite a life. After Dazai died, it was turned into an inn. It became a pilgrimage site for his devoted fans. But eventually, the local town stepped in to preserve it, transforming it into the incredible museum it is today. It's now a national, important cultural property that you can actually walk right through. Okay, so after leaving that grand house and living this really turbulent life, Dazai finally came back in 1944. And that journey became his famous travelogue, Tsugaru. But this wasn't just a sightseeing trip. It was a quest, a quest to reconnect with the people who truly shaped him, and maybe even to find a little forgiveness. And he planned it out so carefully. He started in the main town, Goshigawara, went back to his huge, empty family home, and then traveled further and further north, deep into the rugged heart of the peninsula. He was saving the most important stop for the very end. Because really, this whole trip was building towards one single crucial meeting. The person he wanted to see more than anyone else in the world was his old nanny, Tae. He wrote these words before he even set out, his whole heart just set on finding the woman who had truly been a mother to him. And here it is. This is the climax of the entire story. At the northernmost tip of the peninsula, in this tiny fishing village called Kodomari, he found her. After 30 long years, the celebrated, troubled author from Tokyo was finally reunited with the woman who was the emotional anchor of his entire childhood. It's just the most powerful moment in the book. In the end, a lot of people think Dazai's entire life was a search for that motherly love he felt he missed out on as a kid. And in that one incredible reunion with Take on that remote coast, he finally found it. He found the true homeland of his heart. For Dazai, the landscapes of Tsugaru were never just pretty backgrounds for his stories. No way. They were alive, absolutely pulsing with emotion. Each place seemed to reflect a different part of his own inner world.
For example, he described the vast Jusen Lake as being like water served in a shallow mother-of-pearl shell. Isn't that a perfect image? It captures this elegant, lonely, almost fragile kind of beauty. You can just feel the emotion in how he saw the place.
He was also just so incredibly observant. During his trip, he stayed in a place called Kanya, and he just casually noted, Kanya is a town of wind. And what's amazing is, he was spot on. Because of the local geography, winds from the sea and the mountains literally collide there. It's a small detail, but it shows how deeply he felt the character of every single place he visited.
So, Dazai's journey of rediscovery has inspired travelers for generations. And here's the best part. The same landscapes, the same towns, and that same unique spirit of Tsugaru are all still here, just waiting for you to come and explore.
You can literally travel through time on the very same railway line that Dazai wrote about. Today, you can hop on a train that's been affectionately named Hashire Melos, or Run Melos, after one of his most famous stories, and watch that same landscape unfold right outside your window, just like he did.
Just imagine planning your own journey here. You could walk through the quiet, grand rooms of Shokangan, then ride that same scenic railway Dazai took. You can hunt for the monuments to his words that are scattered all over the peninsula. And hey, depending on when you go, you could experience a wild winter ground blizzard tour, or maybe explore the ancient, pristine beach forests of Shirakami-sanchi, which is a UNESCO World Heritage Site.
This is a land of just staggering beauty and really powerful stories. From the incredible cherry blossoms at Hirosaki Castle all the way to the rugged northern coast, every single corner of Tsugaru gives you a chance to connect with nature, with history, and of course, with the spirit of one of Japan's greatest writers.
Osamu Dazai traveled all this way to find the homeland of the heart. So the only question left really is, aren't you just a little bit curious to come and search for yours?